You know, recently, I've heard a lot of people say the word poverty fighter when talking about a fighting game, but what exactly is that? A poverty fighter is a fighting game that's not very popular, but every once in a while you'll either see somebody trying to money match you in the game, or you'll just find it at a tournament, just some weird game that they're playing off in the corner. These games look and play crazy, like Sailor Moon for example, the fighting game where you take more damage when blocking, and you take less damage when you're actually getting hit. Or there's Dong Dong Never Die, the game where it's real life people and they have over the top crazy moves. Or Melty Blood. You know, if you're a Melty Blood player, you're pretty used to playing grand finals in the hotel bathroom.
This is totally unacceptable. How long are you going to be? I'm very hungry.
So yeah, here's some fighting games that you've probably never heard of, but they're definitely worth taking a look at. This game was released in 1996 by Sunsoft. It was kind of overshadowed by other games at the time, but it managed to carve out a niche for itself with the colorful graphics, quirky characters, and engaging gameplay. The story goes that there are 7 magical Waku Waku balls hidden around the world, and if you get all 7 of them, you can grant a wish of any kind. So it's basically Dragon Ball Z, like, it's the exact same thing. And the funny thing is a lot of characters are actually based on other characters from anime, movies, and games, but they're parodies of them, which I think is really cool. Like Dandy J. Take some of and mix it with a little bit of, and that's Dandy J. But no, really, they actually are supposed to be those 2 characters. Or Maru, which is supposed to be a parody of My Neighbor Totoro. The gameplay is both accessible and deep, making it enjoyable for newcomers and veterans alike. Waku Waku 7's ideas and style have left a lasting impact on the FGC and inspired a dedicated fanbase as well. You might see the game hiding off at events like this cabinet I found at Combo Breaker, and I can tell you it was a lot of fun. One of the most unique features of this game is, of course, the Waku Waku ball system. You can actually collect all 7 of them during the match, and when you have them all, you can unleash a powerful ability. These abilities can instantly turn the tide of any match, which adds an extra layer of fun and excitement to the game. The game also has a really good combo system which encourages creativity and experimentation. You can really develop your own unique playstyle and strategy. Next on our list is World Heroes. Now, this is a series of fighting games developed by 80K and released by SNK between 1992 and 1995. The series consists of 4 games, which are World Heroes, World Heroes 2, World Heroes 2 Jet, and World Heroes Perfect, but I'll just talk about the first one for now. World Heroes features a roster of characters inspired by historical figures and legends from around the world. The gameplay is centered around a time-traveling tournament, where fighters from different eras and cultures compete to find out who is the strongest warrior. We can play as characters like Muscle Power, an American pro wrestler, Jay Karn, a Mongolian warrior, and Rasputin, the leader of a love cult. One of my favorite parts about the game is the deathmatch mode. In this mode, each stage has a unique environmental hazard, such as electric walls, spiked floors, and even conveyor belts. These hazards add a lot of strategy to each match, as players must adapt to their playstyles and changing conditions. The nice blend of history, fantasy, and fighting game has earned it a cult following. If you like games like Killer Instinct or Mortal Kombat, I would definitely give it a try. Our final game is Groove On Fight, a 1997 fighting game developed by Atlus. It was released for the Sega Saturn, and on top of that, only in Japan. As the 3rd installment in the Power Instinct series, Groove On Fight took a bold departure, featuring a darker tone, a new cast of characters, and some tag-style gameplay as well. The story goes that the wealthiest family in the world hosts a fighting tournament every 5 years to decide who will be the leader of their clan. The winner of the tournament takes absolute control of the family fortune. The game also takes place in 2015. Jokes aside, this is what 2015 looked like for me. Because I hate myself. We have characters like Solus R8000. She's a policewoman from the future and is also the mascot of the game. And we have Falco. Well, according to the wiki, it says that Falco is an expert at any kind of game like poker, but when he's gambling, he always has a serious and disturbing expression on his face. Oh man. We also have Remy Odo Girl. She has a music note that has a face on it, and her nickname is the Refreshing Magic of Sound. Coming back to the gameplay, Groove on Fight's tag system is the defining feature of the game. Players can switch between their two characters at any time during a match, allowing for strategic character swaps and combos. The system adds an extra layer of depth to the game, as players must manage their character's health and abilities to gain an advantage over their opponents. One thing to note as well is when you're not playing as the other character, they're actually following you around in the match, which is pretty cool. In other tag games, when you're not using the other character, they just jump away and you can't see them. There's also a meter in the game too. It's called the stress meter. It's basically a comeback move. When you take more damage, the meter fills up and you get a super move from it. Despite its limited release and relative obscurity, people still play the game today. So yeah, although a lot of people don't remember these games, they did add a lot to the genre, and all of that still affects fighting games today. The weird mechanics, the emphasis on character diversity, and the overall accessibility has become a blueprint for successful fighting games that came after. If you haven't had the chance to experience these games yet, then I highly recommend giving them a try.